1938. I was a hidden child. I was 3.5 years old when my mother left me with a complete stranger that she approached in the street, begging her to save me. The woman was a devout Catholic. She felt sorry for her and agreed to take me. We were dirty, hungry, full of lice, for we had not washed in weeks. My mother left me and said that she would try to go and get some food. She left and did not return. I did not see her, nor was I in contact with my mother in the next 3 years. The first thing the woman did was shave all my hair off to get rid of all the lice. I stayed with this woman for 3 years. She taught me all the prayers, took me to church. I celebrated all Christian holidays. She told the neighbors that I was her family. In all those years, I did not see or know what happened to my mother. My mother was taken to a concentration camp. She survived, but my father did not. After the war ended, my mother came to take me back. I was 7 years old. I did not recognize her and refused to go with her. It took months till I got used to her and finally stayed with her. My mother remarried. We left Poland, lived in Germany till we were able to come to the United States. I have 2 half-sisters. In the USA, I started school, graduated, had a normal life, got married, raised a beautiful family together with my husband, Ben Rosenstark. We had 3 children, 2 of whom live here in Israel. In all those years, my mother was in touch with the woman, sent her money and food packages. I recently made Aliyah, joining my 2 sons and many of my children and grandchildren and great-children who live here.
I'm Helen's son, David. we grew up in a neighborhood of Holocaust survivors in Brooklyn, New York. Yet my mother's story as a hidden child, as well as my father's story, for a different time, were unique. Mostly we saw it from the perspective of my grandmother, her tremendous devotion to her daughter, which wasn't mentioned, but how she had to find ways to get food to my mother, even while my mother didn't see her during all that time in the war. But as time has gone on, it's become my mother's story too. The story of a girl with her childhood taken away from her along with her father. Yet she didn't let this get in the way of raising a family. She didn't complain, she accepted what Hashem gave her throughout, and didn't dwell on what she didn't have. She truly understands Hakarat HaTov, and had worked tirelessly to get recognition for Eugenia Zugai as a righteous Gentile, the woman she mentioned before. Baruch Hashem, 5 year ago, my daughter at the time in 5th grade, her teacher heard about the story and was turned into a play in the school where she went in Beit Shemesh, and it was performed on Yom Hashoa. The girls were then able to appreciate the miracles that their classmate being with them as Hashem watched over her grandmother when she was a little child. We're so glad now that you're united with us and so many of your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, some of which are here today.
I'm Yoni, Helen's grandchild. I'm thankful for being here today. I have the biggest privilege in the world to stand here today with my savta, my uncle, as a 3rd generation to the terrible Holocaust on Yom Hashoa. I am a teacher and I spend my time and efforts passing on values to the next generation. I was privileged to fly to Germany with students this year on a program that's main goal is fighting against anti-Semitism and making a commitment to the world, no more. During our journey, we visited the concentration camp Dachau in Germany. The visit was very powerful and meaningful, but maybe mostly because of the fact that the Schwarzbaum family, Helen's family, lived there after the war. This past year, I've been doing research on our family background, and one thing that struck me very strong was something that Guti told me. In the 50s, they moved to America and met normal people who had regular families, cousins, uncles, grandparents. The Schwarzbaum family had none. They were all perished. Savta and Babi are a miracle. They survived against all odds and had the privilege and the merit to build a new life, build a family, have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, move to Israel and set an example and role model to what it means being a Jew. Today on Yom Hashoa, we remember all the 6 million who didn't survive, but we are thankful we are continuing their story and legacy, while we continue to write the story of the Jewish people here in Israel.